All right, everybody, welcome back to the Pittsburgh Steelers story mode. We are now in the 2003 offseason after the Steelers went 5-11 in their division, which was a very sad and terrible display. Of course, we want to kind of analyze their decision-making in the offseason, and that's what this video is all about. One of the first news updates is that Terrence Mathis, the 13-year veteran, has retired. And as you can see, these are his career-ending stats. This is based off of his real life and then the last season he played in my franchise. So about 9,100 receiving yards and 65 receiving touchdowns is Mathis's legacy. In the offseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers decided to stay with their coaching staff. There have been no changes made, no firings. They're sticking with Bill Cowher, Malarkey, and Tim Lewis in their team's leadership. For free agency, the Steelers end up losing Amos Zero to free agency, offensive tackle Will Gandy, defensive end Kimo von Ohlenhoffen, and then cornerback Darnell Washington. In free agency, they do pick up a huge free agent, Rodney Harrison. So in real life, around this time, Rodney Harrison joined the New England Patriots. So in this franchise, though, Pittsburgh put an offer for him, and he chose to go to Pittsburgh to make this defense even more formidable. This was the year they drafted Troy Polamalu, and so that kind of, in some ways, offset the need to draft a safety, and instead they bring in one of the best safeties in the league and from the San Diego Chargers. To replace Amos at running back, they do sign Mike Cloud to be the backup. They sign offensive tackle Derek Deese, the old man 49ers offensive tackle, sort of to replace the parting ways with Will Gandy. They also bring in Bernard Whittington from the Bengals and defensive tackle Russell Davis from the Arizona Cardinals. But the biggest news in the offseason was acquiring Jake Plummer from the Arizona Cardinals. And what they exchanged was a third-round pick. So the Steelers pick up Jake Plummer, and the Steelers give up their third-round pick. This was a good move for them as the Arizona Cardinals wanted to go in a different direction after a bad season with Jake Plummer. Now, Jake Plummer, I thought, was like 83, 82, maybe even 86 overall. He is a good quarterback in Madden ratings, but he did not play well for the Cardinals. But Steelers thought, you know what, a third-round pick to sort of move past the Cordell Stewart, Tommy Maddox era is the right move for the Steelers. Now, when it came down to the draft, the Steelers were not looking at taking a quarterback because they were not able to get Palmer. They were not able to bring in Byron Leftwich, and they weren't going to reach on another quarterback like Grossman or so forth. So what they decided to do was just stand pat, and they decided to help their defense. So they draft Terrence Newman with the 7th overall pick in the draft, arguably one of the best cornerbacks in that draft class. He is older, though, which I didn't realize when I drafted him. So he did start out a little bit more on the aged side as a corner. But I felt that with the Steelers' defense as it currently is, which was very loaded, that adding somebody like Newman was the right move. Yes, I could have still drafted Polamalu, but I thought Polamalu going number 7 was a bit high, especially after drafting Rodney Harrison. As for the remainder of the draft, we see defensive tackle Anthony Adams in the 2nd round. The 3rd round pick they traded away for the Jake Plummer trade ended up being used on Corey Redding, who was a pretty solid defensive end for many years in real life, really drafted by the Detroit Lions. But he was a solid defensive end for them, so we'll see if that pick ends up haunting the Pittsburgh Steelers, whether drafting Corey Redding for them would have been better than Jake Plummer. They do draft Donald Lee as a tight end. In the 4th round, Brian Scott, the free safety. So instead of getting Polamalu in the 1st round, they bring in Brian Scott in the 5th. Lee Bodden with the 7th round pick. The 6th round, 7th overall pick. So Lee Bodden went to Cleveland in real life, but instead in this franchise, he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Richard Angulo, tight end, with an extra pick picked up. I forget which trade that was, but they end up picking him up. I think it was the Falcons had number 9, so they ended up getting that pick from the Falcons. And then you have Fred Jackson, the 7th round running back, who does play a significant role in the Pittsburgh Steelers running attack moving forward in upcoming seasons. So there you go. There's the offseason in 2003. The next video, we will be sharing the highlights of the 2003-2004 season. If you like this story mode franchise, I hope that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep giving your love and support. Again, this is just a way to better understand the 32-team franchise year after year. I don't know how long it'll take me, probably a long time to update every single team. But once I do that, then I have videos that you can just, if you want to watch your favorite team and their journey, that's what these are about. And you can just see how they did each year in my franchise. So thanks for watching and see you on the next one.